Hello, everyone. It is never a foul. It's another match day. It is Saturday, Super Saturday as well. Not only Super Sunday tomorrow, but it's a Super Saturday today. It has been a great day for Chelsea, Spurs, City, Newcastle. Everybody won. I got a great panel for you in the background. We're going to talk all the games. We're going to talk about, oh my God, Cancelo. This guy cannot stop playing well. I don't know where to go from here. And Newcastle smashing Brentford and jumping to the top six. Chelsea good again under Potter, and Tottenham back on track under Conte, even though some of them are not happy about the performances. But you get a result against Brighton away. I don't think it's a bad thing. But you know what time it is now? It is only one thing to start with. It is intro time. So everybody here, welcome. I got Deji, Roy, and Kendall for you here to talk about the games. But before we go on, I just want to see who's in the house. I got already 30 people here. Make sure to hit that like button before we go on. 30 people on the trot is not bad at all. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please do it for us so we can get the views we deserve. So Sid is here as usual. Thank you, Sid, for being here. Daniel is here. As you, Foden is generational and Cancelo is the best. We're going to talk about it because I think Roy has something to say about that, even though Reece James didn't play today. Solo MCFC is always here. Elias and Maratha is here with us. And Frajur is here. Harry Potter, the boy that lived in. Eric is here. Mustafa, as usual, is here with us. So let me get through. Deji, I'm going to start with Deji. How are you today? Are you happy with the performance? We're going to talk in details about the game. I just want to get your general feeling about today's game.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the result. I'm not happy with the performance. I think we needed the 3 points. But for me, I know we're going to get into the game and a bit more of a discussion. I just wanted to see more from my team, and it was quite lackluster. I think Brighton didn't turn up today. It was one of their poor days. I think it was a different Brighton to the team that we saw against Liverpool. But hey, what can I say? Tottenham's played. Is it 9 games now? We've got 6 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. It's one of our greatest starts to the season. So I'll take the points, and hopefully Liverpool do us a favour tomorrow against Arsenal and make sure that they drop some points, and then maybe I'll feel a little bit more positive, and yeah, you might see me rocking my Spurs shirt again.
Yeah. Kindle back-to-back wins. Nobody can complain. 4s and 5s. It looks like it is happening for your team again after like a couple of draws. So, what's the? How are you feeling? Are you more positive now since you? Until last week, I think until the week before, you got only 1 win. So now it's 2 wins back to back, top six. The team is performing even without like Sam Maximan, Joel Linton didn't start, but it looked like you got it under control.
Yeah, it's quite nice actually. This is the first time we've scored that many goals since like 2001, in back-to-back games. So this is like a long time coming now, 20 years. Yeah, I'm really, really optimistic. Obviously, we've got Man United next week. That is going to be a big, big test for us. Stood the test against Man City so far. I think we stood the test against Liverpool as well when we played them. I think we were pretty unlucky with that result. So yeah, I'm really, really, really oddly and very. I'm treading carefully here, but I am really, really looking forward to the game next week. So we'll see what the real test is then, really.
Roy, your team 3-0 back to back. With it's not only that you won 3-0 against Milan and today against Wolves, it's that you actually put in a performance that probably deserved more than 3-0 today. I thought that some of the photos were a little bit wasteful, but the amount of creativity was there great today and in the Champions League. So how are you feeling about them? It's a new era, Graham Potter, different type of football. How are you feeling after today's game?
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. Like, I thought we were great today. I think even though we made so many changes, I'm not gonna lie, I was very skeptical about the lineup, as a lot of Chelsea fans were. I thought, should we be starting Aspi? Should we be starting Chalobah? Should we be starting Gallagher? But everyone balled out today, and like, yeah, then our attackers look so much better. They're getting on the score sheet. I think we scored 9 goals under Potter. 7 have come from the attackers. These are the same attackers that people were blaming when Tuchel couldn't get a tune out of them. So maybe it was more his fault than we thought. But yeah, I'm really happy with the performance to make 7 changes and still win 3-0, even though Wolves don't have a manager and they did have a few players out. I can't complain because in previous month, that would have been a game that we would have drawn 1-1 or we would have drawn 0-0 or we would have just bottled the points as we did last time we faced them. But yeah, 3-0, as in, I can't complain. Like I'm enjoying our football for the first time in probably 2022, because I don't think I've properly like legitimately enjoyed watching us since 2021, where we were like top of the league and everything was going well. So yeah, I'm loving Potter. I'm loving what he's doing, and I'm loving the way we're playing as well.
So we go into details about Chelsea, though. It's what I saw today is that something that is very surprising. When I saw the team sheet, I didn't know, is it 3 in the back? Is it 4 in the back? Is Gallagher right winger? Is Gallagher in the midfield? Can you a little bit explain to us, like looking at this lineup, I'm looking at it now. Cucurella was here left center back. It was Aspi the right center back and Koulibaly on the left. I was confused. However, the fluidity is like, I can't, like as a Chelsea, someone who watches Chelsea, I'm like, okay, this is way better, even though I can't put my hand on who plays where. Can you give us a little bit of details? How did the team step on the pitch? How did it look? Is it 4? Is it 3?
Potter's a really, really flexible manager, which is one of the things I like about him. So when we were in possession, it was a 4-2-3-1. So we had Aspi right back, Cucurella left back, Chalobah, Koulibaly, and who was playing? Oh, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, and then Gallagher right, Mount, Pulisic, and then Havertz up top. And then out of possession, it sort of went to a back 3 where we had Aspi right wing back, Cucurella was sort of tucking in, and then Pulisic was in that left wing back / left wing role that Sterling played in a few games ago. So like, yeah, it's a really, really fluid system. Our attackers are linking up so much better. The decision making and finishing still needs to improve, but I think that will happen over time, because I do think Potter can coach better out of them when it comes to those two parts of attacking play. But yeah, then they're linking up much better. They're getting on the score sheet, and we're controlling games. We're still controlling games like we did under Tuchel, but we've got a lot more attacking intent in the final third rather than under Tuchel, where in the last, like, let's be honest, 8-9 months of his reign, we had a lot of the ball, but in the attacking third, we were very, very blunt. Like, it was way too static. Our attackers were struggling to get inside the box, get shots off. Whereas with Potter, like, we're getting into the box way more, we're creating way more chances, and hence we're scoring more goals. So yeah, it's been a very good start to Graham Potter era, and I'm very, very positive.
Come to Deji. I'm not looking at this Chelsea team and Graham Potter appointment and the way they play football. Is that going to be a little bit of a danger coming from behind for you, for your team? Are you fearing Chelsea at all? I'm going to ask the same question to Kindle, but in a different way. Is that if Chelsea getting better, does that push somebody else out of the top 4? Did you see that happening?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I like to say, we have a World Cup coming up round the corner, and it's good to see an English manager doing so well at a big club. I say let's stop wasting time right now. I say we swap Graham Potter for Southgate. I say we do that. We do that immediately. Let's not waste any time. He's shown that he can be a tactician. He's shown after a couple of weeks that
Kendall's got a very good English manager as well. Don't forget
Chelsea. So look, you know me already. I'm not a big Chelsea fan. I'm scared. I think at the beginning of the season, under Tuchel, you could see that the wheels were falling off. You can see that it was a bit of a disaster. There was a lot of upheaval. Graham Potter's come in, and let's be real, Chelsea fans in the whole country, I think the whole world, are surprised that he's literally hit the ground. It's looking like he's hitting the ground running. So for me, we need to do something. I think for me now, the problem is, Graham Potter just doesn't have any pedigree. But let's put some respect on his name. With the way Chelsea are playing, they're looking like they could be back at it. And I think it'll be interesting to see how they play against a at Man City. But for me, let's just stop Chelsea in their tracks now. Hashtag Graham Potter for the England job and get Southgate out right now. That's what I'm saying.
I love it. Kendall, as Eddie Howe is kind of, I see Eddie Howe and Graham Potter kind of similar in terms of like, I know that moving to Chelsea is different than Newcastle, but I see Newcastle going in the same direction as Man City, Chelsea, when Abramovich took over in 2002 and all this stuff. Do you see Eddie Howe taking the same direction and leaving to go to a bigger club, or you still think that he's going to stick to your club if they back him and he's going to just try to grind this club and get them into like higher position on the table, top 4, top 6, maybe in the next year or two?
Yeah, I can't see him going anywhere anytime soon. This project is probably one of the, I won't say biggest in world football, but if you know what I mean by that, like it's one of probably the most exciting, biggest big money takeovers that we've had in a few years now. So yeah, I don't see Eddie Howe going anywhere anytime soon. I do agree with you that they're pretty similar. I've watched a lot of Graham Potter's football simply because Newcastle and Brighton have been on similar levels for a good few years because we got promoted together. So I've watched a lot of Graham Potter's football since he became manager there. I really like the way that he plays. I am very glad that there's actually now 2 decent English managers, because when was the last decent English manager? No offense, I actually, off the top of my head, I can't think of the last really decent English manager. So it's nice to see 2 young, free-flowing, high-press, technical English managers in the game now. But I am totally on board with the Potter for England situation.
Why not Howe?
It means to leave Eddie home.
Why not Eddie Howe? It's like Roy was like, why not Eddie Howe? Why my manager?
It means to leave Eddie alone. We can just stay with Eddie. It means Southgate gets out of England. It means that I can actually enjoy a World Cup for once, because I mean, watching England at this stage is like it's like torturous watching England at the moment. So, and it doesn't have to be. So yeah, I'm totally on board with that. That can absolutely happen for me, 100%.
Roy, seeing Havertz on the score sheet, Pulisic, and the Pulisic goal was fantastic, to be honest. And seeing Mason Mount playing very well, is that what is going to happen to the rest of it? Oh, even Broha today, the goal he scored is like phenomenal, to be honest. The touch is absolutely top notch, like a top notch finish, to be honest. So that's your squad back, that's your attack back, because you still had Sterling on the bench, you had still firepower, Aubameyang on the bench. How good as a Chelsea fan feeling with all these people that normally don't start getting on the score sheet?
Yeah, it's very, very good, and it just shows like how well Potter's utilizing them, because let's be honest, including myself and rival fans, a lot of us thought that a lot of these players were bums and they weren't good enough, and like Tuchel couldn't do any more with them, like they were just all shit. But Potter's come in and he's actually got them scoring, he's got them linking up with each other, he's got them creating chances. So as much as I did love Tommy, I'm looking at him a little bit funny, because a manager who supposedly isn't really on your level when it comes to CV, body of work, pedigree, all that stuff, is getting a tune out of these attackers that you are making look horrible, and players were complaining about like his coaching and what it was like playing under him. So yeah, I'm a big Havertz fan. I love seeing him on the score sheet. Pulisic came in for Sterling, did a stellar job, scored as well, and obviously Broha. And then I don't want to compare him to another young striker in this league who's ripping it up, but he's scored his first goal, so baby steps. But yeah, I'm just really happy at the moment. I don't remember the last time I was this happy as a Chelsea fan.
I mean, look, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I hate Chelsea's guts. But
That's not surprising. Likewise.
But what I will say though is this: let's put some respect on Graham Potter, and one of the reasons why I'm touting him for the England job is simply because I've been saying for years that Chelsea's academy system is probably the best in the world. You can count at least 15 players that's come out of their academy recently that are playing fantastic football. Brighton today had 2 of them in Billy Gilmore and Tarek Lamptey. What I like is he's actually giving younger kids hope. Playing I thought it was a travesty with the season Gallagher had at Crystal Palace that he was struggling to get into the starting lineup at the beginning of the season under Tuchel. I think Broja is a world-class striker. I mean, maybe not world class, but you know what? Brozier is a baller.
Sure.
I would have Brozier as the backup to Kane, because Kane has got maybe 2 or 3 more seasons. I would take Brozier in a heartbeat. What he was doing at Southampton last season is no joke. So for me, I like the fact that he's putting faith in the youth, because you guys have a good youth system with good youth players. And I think Fikayo Tomori should be coming back home, you know, to Chelsea, to be honest with you. So look, big up Graham Potter. I'm nervous. I am nervous. I'm not going to lie. But this also could be honeymoon period. Let's be real. You know, during the honeymoon period, you know, you look better looking, your hair's on point. Do you know what I mean? You know, you're doing all sorts of stuff that you don't normally do. What would be interesting to see is after 10 games, whether you've got the same energy, whether you're still playing that sexy football, or whether actually the wheels fall off, because I don't think Tuchel was that bad. I mean, in his first season, he did bring you guys to Champions League, and I don't really like what I call the goldfish moment, where people forget quite quickly what other managers and players have brought into the team not so long ago. So I'm not going to be here and rubbish Tuchel. Something obviously happened, but I think it's also too early to tell whether the ship has surely been turned, or you're just going through a little bit of a honeymoon period, and when we see you without your hair on, it's a nightmare and it's scary in the dark. So let's just see.
Before we move into to Spurs, I want to ask Kendall: do you see Chelsea at all challenging for the title at all? It's not far. They're only 5 points or 6 points behind. So
at the start of the season, I didn't at all. I was just like, to be honest, I think I actually even had them like 5th, I think, at the start of the season, just because they were going through like a transition period, and I didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what was going to happen with the new owners, and things like that. So I did have them finishing there, but yeah, they look really decent. But again, this could be just a purple patch, as we like to call it. I do really rate Graham Potter though very highly. I think I have been very vocally positive about Chelsea's squad as well, because honestly, like ever since Joelinton became like one of the best midfielders in the league at the end of last season, I was like, you know what, any single player on this planet can improve if they have a decent coach. So I always think that now. So yeah, I think they'll be fine. I don't know about challenging for the title, just because I mean they could. I don't. Man City aren't like miles ahead of everyone at the moment, despite the fact that Haaland is miles ahead of everyone. They're not. Points wise, they're not. So, I mean, why not?
I think Chelsea fans got saved when Tuchel got sacked. I thought they're gonna finish outside of the top 4 for sure.
I think the way it was going,
I did too.
Outside the top 4.
Under Tuchel, the football was. I'm sorry, it was horrible. I've seen horrible football at my own.
Thank you so much. Finally, someone finally.
It was boring. There was no system. There was no enjoyment watching it. Like, there was no excitement. Like there was not that like flair player. Even though the fact that they had them, there was no flair player in that squad that you could be like let's put him on. Let's have a bit of creativity. It was just very fixed, very limp football to watch. And I've said this all along. I've said it for 2 years now. Despite the fact that I think Tuchel is a good coach, I just don't think he coaches nice football. Or he didn't, at least at Chelsea. So yeah, I think you're right. I think Graham Potter was actually, despite the fact I saw lots and lots of Chelsea fans not happy about that appointment, I think it could end up being like a little bit of a stroke of genius, because people probably expected, I don't know, like someone like Pochettino or someone to come in, not him, but someone like that, and they didn't. They went for Graham Potter. So for me, I think it's probably going to end up being a little bit of a stroke of genius appointment, a bit like Eddie Howe was at Newcastle at the time, when everyone looked down on that as well.
There was no style for Thomas Tuchel. I don't want to rip into Thomas Tuchel. He doesn't coach anymore, but you can tell 4 games in for Graham Potter, and you can tell the style. You can just see it. Once you open the TV and you watch the game, there is a certain style that he wants to play. Some players can do it, some players can, but you can tell that there is something on the training ground that what has to be done on the pitch. While I thought that Thomas Tuchel was like, let's just try to cross or try to do this and that. But I saw today a style. It was very obvious what he's trying to do.
I think with Tuchel, like historically, like looking at the teams he's previously coached, so PSG and Dortmund, he's always had very, very good attackers. So he's had like Dembele and Aubameyang and Royce at Dortmund. And obviously he had like Mbappe and Neymar and Di Maria at PSG. So he's always had very, very good attackers. So he's tended to coach the defense, coach the midfield, and give the attackers freedom to just make things happen like on their own merit, so to speak. But with us, he coached a very good defense, as we saw, like when he won the Champions League. Our midfield was good as well. We were controlling games well. But he didn't really have attackers with the quality of Mbappe and Neymar and Dembele when he was at Dortmund. So when he was saying to them, he was giving them a lot of freedom, saying, oh, like he wasn't really coaching attacking patterns and just telling them to go and express themselves in the final third. And when the attackers aren't really of the quality of what you've had before, it doesn't really lead to the same results as he had at Dortmund and PSG. So when like the football was really, really limp to watch, after a while, when I noticed it, it wasn't really surprising because you were telling people to express themselves who don't really have the ability to like win you games and consistently perform if they're not really coached and told specifically what to do. So again, I don't want to shit on Tuchel, but it was a bit premature, the sacking, but I do think his time was coming to an end. The football was bad, the results were bad. And yeah, I'm glad we got Potter in. Bowley's he's gonna surround him with the right people, like sporting directors, technical directors. He's helping to overhaul our medical department. So he's gonna surround him with the right people. And yeah, it's on Potter to coach the players and bring success to the club, which I believe
Tuchel should coach international football because he's a good pragmatic coach.
Yeah, I think he's a great
pragmatic football, so he should coach an international team. Go to Germany.
Like, I would happily have Tuchel as an England coach. Like, I'm not saying the football's going to be shit and stuff, but he's a good cup manager. Like, he got us to pretty much every final that he competed in, apart from last season's champs when he got knocked out by Real Madrid. Other than that, we got to every final we competed in. So in international football, where that's the format you're going to be playing in like 24/7, I think he could do a great job.
So segue to another coach that has a system, but maybe he's saying he needs time, and I think he's too scared. Antonio Conte got the result away to Brighton today, Spurs. I know Deji is not happy about it behind the scenes before we go live. He's so upset, I know. But to be honest with you, from my point of view, I thought that you started the game very well, Deji. You controlled the midfield, you had position, you created a couple of chances, you scored, and then the coach, the staff, everybody got just scared and they just dropped back. Everybody just dropped back. Do you think there's a solution for this, for just getting that like when you get the lead, you always drop back, and that's not a sign of a big team, to be honest, that has to be in control most of the game.
I think it's simple. I think Conte's been watching our shows, but for whatever reason, he wants to be slightly stubborn. I said it on a stream this week. If Conte adopts what I want him to adopt, he will do well with Spurs, and I should be getting paid for this advice. But let me explain. I said the 3-5-2 formation has to happen. Basuma needs to come in the midfield, and you could see straight away in the Brighton game, Tottenham were a lot more controlled. It's the most controlled I've seen them all season. Sessegnon has to start ahead of Perisic. I love Perisic, but when you're playing in the Premier League with the pace of players, we can't have Perisic. And I want to.
Why can't you have Perisic? Perisic isn't slow.
Perisic,
he's so fast. Perisic is faster.
When you're playing against top quality wingers, like for me, when I'm saying this, I'm saying it about the Arsenal game. Who do you want up against Saka? Perisic or Cess? You want Cess.
I disagree.
Cess went toe-to-toe with Mane. He went toe-to-toe with Salah. He loves it. I want someone with a bit of pace, who's strong, who's stabilized. I want Cess. And then the final piece to the Spurs jigsaw puzzle is our right wing back. We need Jed Spence. And until we get Jed Spence, we deserve what happens to our team. And that performance today against Brighton was an absolute disaster. It was a car crash. It was rubbish. I think Spurs had 2 chances on goal, one from Bentancur, and the actual goal that Kane having to do little drama skills from the Central School of Speech and Drama to turn his head and get the ball in the back of the net. We shouldn't have to be playing football like that. We had enough control. And I think what Spurs are lacking is somebody going forward on the right. Matt Doherty, a.k.a. Justin Timberlake, is not that person, and neither is Chicken Royale. So for me, once Conte brings in Jed Spence, we will start to see Spurs per. But one thing I can say is that the three in the midfield, it was a lot more smoother, a lot more compact. The only thing that went wrong was the fact that Basuma picked up his second yellow. The 2 times he started, he's picked up a yellow. And once he's picked up a yellow, given that he's not had a run of games, you can see that Basuma just doesn't want to tackle anymore and does the simple stuff. And that was quite boring. The other thing is Son should not be starting. He's just not up at the races right now. For me, it needs to be Richarlison and Kane starting. And yeah, look, I can go on, but Conte,
what about Kulu?
At least he changed it up. He changed it
Kulu,
today. Huh?
What about Kulu?
Yeah, look, I think the whole league know what happens. Kulu's injured at the moment. If Kulu plays, we play the 3-4-3. If Kulu's not there, you play 3-man in the mid. You've got to play Basuma in the midfield. And I think Spurs were quite comfortable for large parts of that game. What I just didn't like is the fact that we were toothless up top. Absolutely. We were lucky to beat Brighton. And, you know, the old me would have come on here and say, look, Liverpool couldn't beat Brighton, so that shows you Spurs are good. No, we're not good. We're not good at the moment. I'm not having that. I'm not going to have anyone try and tell me otherwise. But what I will do is, it was a crap performance, but I take the points. 20 points after 9 games is no mean feat. That's absolutely, it's good returns. And if this is what I'm going to have to sign up to with Conte, long may it continue.
Listen, I just want to say one thing. Actually, I thought Matt Doherty played really well today.
Yeah, I thought he had a good game, to be honest.
I like, to be honest, Deji, he is the guy that got behind the defense 3 times. He got a couple of chances, but he hasn't played for a while. So he needs time to come back. And for Sessegnon is good defensively. The thing is, Perisic is originally a winger. Sessegnon is a left back. So Perisic is not a defender by nature. The guy started for Bayern Munich in the Champions League when they won it, and he was their left winger. He wasn't a defender. So I get what you're saying, but if you want to be someone who controls the ball and going forward, you will need the attacking one that won the Champions League, that won the title with Inter before, the guy that has experience, that played World Cup final with Croatia. He has way more experience, and he's not slow. I know you think he's old. He's not slow. But I know that Sessegnon is good, youth, young, all that, but Perisic has more experience. For me...
And he's played under Conte before at wing-back.
Exactly. But the difference is at Inter, we weren't on the back. Like, most of the time we had the ball. For Spurs, for some reason, Conte is too scared. Every time they grab a lead, they ask all the team to drop back. Even Harry Kane behind the circle, defend deep. And it doesn't, like, it's not gonna work with someone like Perisic. It's not gonna work with these people. Like, Kulusevski is not a defender as well. They need the ball at their feet. These people need to go forward. But to be honest, I think it's impressive that they play atrocious football and they have 20 points. Kendall, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I've always said that one of the most important things is that you can play badly and still get points. That is what gets you over the line with certain things. Like, so for me, I understand obviously, if you're not going to be happy about the performance, I do get that, because there's certain, especially for teams like Tottenham, who have been consistently in the top half of the table, if that makes sense, for a long time. And, you know, there is standards that you set for yourself, and I've learned this myself just through social media with things where, obviously, like, big Six fans, if you will, there is certain standards that you set for yourself. So I do get that. But yeah, if you can still get the 3 points, or at least a point, and you play really, really badly, then that is the sign of a good team, really.
Roy, Tottenham are gonna push somebody out, or are they gonna? Is it gonna be Liverpool? Is it gonna be Arsenal? Who's it gonna be?
Well,
before the season, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really buying into the Spurs hype. I had them outside the top 4. I had City, Liverpool, Arsenal in the top 4.
How you can say that, mate? I don't know how you can say that with the summer.
Now, obviously, Liverpool are looking a bit sketchy, but we're only 9 games to the season, and I do believe they will inevitably click into gear at some point. I feel like they're too good just to stink up the whole season. So I do think they'll click into gear and then eventually go on a run of wins, as we've seen them do previously. And I think they'll make their way into the top 4. And yeah, I just think Spurs will miss out.
That's just such a Chelsea thing to say. That is such a Chelsea thing. And you know what it is? I've been saying all season, with the greatest respect, I said what I don't want is people who regurgitate what they read on Twitter or what they read in the tabloids, newspapers, in the sense that I question Liverpool this season, just the fact that they lost Mane and Nunes. I think that nostalgia that people are holding on to, I think we need to forget about Liverpool. Liverpool are not finishing in the top 4 this season. I hate to break the news to the world, but it ain't happening. Okay, what we need to do is prepare for Spurs. We all knew. I had Spurs to be. I felt that the league was going to be a 3-horse race. I thought it was going to be, for me personally, at the beginning of the season, I thought it was going to be between Spurs, Man City, and Liverpool. It looks like it's going to be between Spurs, Man City, and bloody Arsenal, which is still a red team, but a different team. So, for me, I even with Graham Potter, I did want to say that it looks good, but I'm not going to get carried away. I think the wheels can easily fall off for Chelsea as well. I think we need to see a few more games, but I think the question's still out. I think the full spot is up for grabs between Chelsea, Ajax United, and Liverpool. I think.
What do you honestly think Man United have got a chance at Champions League this year? Because I don't.
I think they're going to challenge. But can I say something with real talk, Kendall? I actually, in my pre-season prediction, had Newcastle to finish above Arsenal. So I'm not surprised that you guys are doing well this season.
One thing you have to know about me is I'm not here to fuck about.
Hello.
Let's make my point there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like how Deji went silent.
Wait, Deji, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You said like the wheels could easily fall off with us, and I hear it. I disagree, but I hear it.
Yeah.
Do you not think the same could happen with Spurs if results start to go sideways? A team.
If Harry Kane gets injured, Roy.
Excuse me.
Do you know what it is?
Whoa. You have to go on mute right now. I don't even get a hello. Oh, hi, Cass. Oh, how you been,
Oh,
Cass?
hi, Kaz. How was your day?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Hey, Cass,
Deji,
how are
come on,
you?
man. Yeah, thank you. I've got main character syndrome today, so you know.
It's good to see you, Cass, because obviously last week when I was telling you that your team was going to get pumped 5-0, I was thinking about you.
I'm glad I'm in your thoughts when my team loses. I'm glad I'm in your thoughts when you're doing the business with certain somebodies, and I'm glad I'm in your thoughts all the time, rent free, man. It's all right, man.
But
it's not like
go on.
It's not like your team nearly got battered today. Like they could have easily. Like it's not concerning, but you know, it's okay. It's okay, Dej, man. It's against a better team that's got a bit better striker. You know.
Well, you know,
get back 3-1
jumped
again.
in
You know.
at the exact right time. We're talking about the Man United chances of making top 4.
Oh, never. We don't. Wait, chances. Whoa.
I'm actually being nice. I'm actually being nice to your team. I actually think it's between you, Chelsea, and Liverpool to fight for that fourth spot. So I'm actually being nice to
I stick by my prediction, man.
I don't understand, Deji, how are you talking like this, Deji? I don't get it. Your team is atrocious, bro. Your team is playing terrible football.
No, I'm not going to lie to you, but you know what it is. And
how are you coming here?
And you know Conte more than anything. I'll be honest with you. The reason why I'm pumping my chest is not for the team. I saw Conte literally put Tottenham finishing 4th last season was nothing short of a miracle, because that team is garbage. And he turned Ben Davies, he got Eric Dyer doing enough to get the points and get us Champions League. Now, Conte is all or nothing. He goes for broke. Right now, Conte is not about we're going to try and get top 4 football. No. He is going for the Premier League this season or the Champions League. And it's because of Conte that I'm saying to you, Tottenham are going to be fighting it out. It's going to be garbage. I realize that now. I thought it's going to be rubbish. It's going to be painful to watch. There were times I almost broke my TV 7 times today. But In the end, we got the point. We've got 20 points on the table.
Let me tell you
So
something.
for me, it's the Conte factor and the Conte factor only. And I trust Conte more than I trust Graham Potter.
I agree
which is
with
why
you.
I think we'll finish above.
But one thing, and Roy will back me up on this. Chelsea, when they won the title, after Conte came into the 2016-17, they actually started the season terrible, but they had a 13 games winning streak playing magnificent football. It was position football, chances left and right, wing backs getting involved, wing backs. I think Alonso and Moses were like scoring. Everybody was playing well. I think people have false image about Conte likes to play attacking football. He doesn't like to defend. When he played with Chelsea, he played attacking football. With Inter, he tried to play attacking football. We scored a lot of goals, and I think Chelsea did the same. This is why I'm saying this is not Conte's team. This is not Conte's style. Defending and playing 1-0 from the beginning of the season. This is not what Conte wanted to do with Chelsea, and that's not what he did. When the end of the season comes and you're there and there about like challenging for the title, he is going to be more pragmatic. He's going to be more cautious. But when he played with Chelsea, he went all out. The two wing backs were inside the 18, and Roy can back me up on this if I'm wrong.
And we can play that football. All he has to do is make one more change to that starting lineup. He must start Jed Spence.
Let me tell you, he's never gonna play, Deji. He's never gonna play.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He's never gonna play.
Then he deserves to. Then I'm gonna say loud and clear. Then Conte deserves to flop because for me,
oh my God,
Jed Spence.
You're putting Jed Spence over. Oh my goodness.
Bro, have you seen? Did you see what Jed Spence did to Arsenal last season in the FA Cup? Put some
one cup game.
That's a second string team.
If
a
Conte
second
doesn't
string
play,
team.
he deserves to flop.
By the way, I rate Jed Spence. I like him a lot. Yeah, but
Yeah,
you got another man that's coming in
Podcast.
January. No, because even if they did play championship, innit, it wasn't that far ago where Newcastle were there with some ballers, right, Kendall? But other than that, it's just you've got another player you're forgetting about as well. Deji, that play, or Udogi, however you say his name, from Udinese, 19-20-year-old. I think he's coming. No, I think he's arriving in January, bro. I believe
he's a baller.
He's actually on form. He's on fight. He's on fight. Yeah, but I think Perisic might see himself over on the right, where he might come in January and take that left spot. Don't get me wrong, Sessegnon's doing his thing, but Sessignon is bang average. Like, I'm having Matt Target over him. I'm not joking. Like,
Deji would rather play Sessignon than Perisic, by the way.
I would. Look, let me tell you, look, when you look at the success of Liverpool in particular, what worked for Liverpool was the flying wing backs. When Spurs were on the potch, we had Danny Rose on the left, we had Carl Walker on the right, flying forward. Right now, we've got Sessignon flying down the left, and I don't know what's on the right-hand side. It's a gaping hole. What I want is Jed Spence. Jed Spence is Tottenham's version of Trent Alexander-Arnold, our version of Reece James. Get him on the pitch, get him flying down the wing, and you will see a different Tottenham team, an attacking Tottenham team, because now we can feed the ball out to the right-hand side. And I'm saying as a Spurs fan, if Conte doesn't do it, then I want us to keep flopping until he makes that change.
Can I add one thing? Let me add this. If you're here, please smash the like button. How many are we on? It's 60. It's 80 of you man in here. Is growing every minute right now. So do smash the like button if you're new. All right, cool then. Jed Spence is your Trent Alexander-Arnold. Name me 3 notable Jed Spence performances, Deji.
Bro, he had a fantastic performance against Arsenal last season. He had a fantastic performance against Liverpool last season. And, just his performances for Nottingham Forest were good enough compared to what we have. Let me tell you why I big up Jed Spence one last time, because I don't want to labour the point and bore the audience.
I said three notable performances.
Bro, I've given you 2, and the last 5 minutes against Nottingham Forest, he had 2 chances on goal this season in the only game that he has played. So those are for me notable performances. But what I will say this, I can't stand right wing backs who can't beat a man. And I keep passing it back. Keep passing
I hate watching Anthony now.
You're Jadon Sancho.
Pisses me off. So Jed Spence is the guy to fly forward. Trust me, you heard it here first on Never a Foul. As soon as he brings Jed Spence on, you lot will be wax lyrical as you are wax lyrical about Graham Potter and the changes he's apparently making at Chelsea.
What? Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'll keep
I've
that in
heard
mind.
I've heard it all. I've heard it all.
I have no. Oh my God, this is.
I don't know what Jed Spence has on you, but it's got you on the choke.
I've never seen something like this, guys. I've never seen something like
but
this.
But since Jed Spence posted that meme of him smoking a cigar on Neil Warnock or whatever, he's literally had like 1 minute. He's played like 1 minute of football.
Yeah, he's played like 5 minutes of football.
Trust me, get Jed Spence on the pitch and you're going to see bits.
Is he your relative? Is he for real?
No,
I'm asking.
no,
you know the kid.
No, I'm just a Spurs
you know the
fan.
kid.
Yeah, like, did you go to school with him or something?
I just want to win.
But you are winning.
Justin Timberlake.
You have 20 points.
Yeah, but that's not football, man. That's a joke. That's NFL stuff.
Who cares? Who cares? You don't get points at the end of the season for good football.
No, you're right. Look, I'm not going to lie to you.
Brighton played the amazing football and they came 17 2 seasons in a row.
Bournemouth got relegated and they used to play nice football.
Yeah, they play great football.
You know?
It's amazing. Yes, great. Good in the eye. Brilliant.
It's not fair. You man reference the team and I can't think of one. Flip. My knowledge is shocking. Like what? Save me some, man. Jeez. Your team today though, Bruno Gomes was on fire. I can't wait for someone to buy him, man. Honestly, like. And someone...
no, real talk though. I was speaking in the group chat and I was thinking like, Kendall, if someone tried to grab him next summer, like how much do you reckon he go for? I know you don't really need the money.
They're gonna make him not for sale, basically, like to the point of like João. They're not gonna do a João Felix level like 320 million release clause, but like it's gonna be. They're gonna make him hard to.
He's gone.
To get. I honestly don't see him going anywhere for at least 2 years.
Do you think he'd push for a move?
Obviously, by then,
he's going to want to play for a Champions League team, personally.
I wonder what his wages are, because I know you can only offer him a certain amount of wages at the moment, and someone gives him that super max as a Brazilian, you know that guy's gone, like it's in the wind, like that guy's gonna be pushing for that move.
If he was gonna get like a significant amount of, like, I'm quite like, I'm not naive when it comes to football. I know that money is a big factor in a lot of things now, and I get that. So I would, if it was going to be like a big massive contract, I wouldn't be like, oh, why is he going there? I wouldn't be like that. I would be like, fair enough. But yeah, he absolutely, every single interview he ever does, he adores the club. Like he knows how much the club means to the fans, and it's like, honestly, it's like a proper love story at the minute. Like he proper loves it, and I think that's what's spurring him on at the minute. But obviously, who knows? It might be money in the end. But yeah, we can't at this moment in time offer him
120k a week. Is that what he's on?
Yes, that's what he's on. That's not much.
Real talk. That's not. No, when you say not much, I mean,
but
it's a lot.
You know, Gas, he's gonna start for Brazil in the World Cup, and his value is gonna be double than what they pass, because he's gonna,
especially if they win the World Cup as well. Clubs will be
exactly like imagine him.
He's a baller.
He's looking like an 80, 90, no, not even 80, 85, 100 million pound player. I'll be real. I think he's that good.
Worth 100.
I talk of Grealish. Almiron scored again today, innit?
Yeah, he did.
I would love the video to come up.
That's 3 goals in 2 games for him now, you know. 3 goals in 2 games. Oh, man, I'm his biggest critic. Trust me, I'm his biggest critic. And I've always said he's a headless chicken because he runs and runs and runs, but never does anything with it. But yeah, this season he seems to be like, he was like, yeah, I took that personally. He's like, really, he's just okay now. I mean,
how old is Almiron, by the way?
27, 28.
One of my friends, one of my close friends, really rates him.
But Kendall, tell me about. You were in the stadium today, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
How bad were Brentford? How bad were Brentford defense today? What was that?
How much did you like getting that one over Ivan Toney as well?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ivan Toney is such a ranger as well. He drives me insane, and I don't get why. As a player who was twice now fucked over his own club, like he said, "Oh, fuck Brentford," and then when someone said to him, "Who do you play for?" he said, "No one important." Like, I don't even know why everyone like rims him. I don't even get it. As if you're a Brentford fan, I wouldn't. But anyways, yeah, it was so nice. It was nice, but to be fair, he was totally irrelevant when he was here. So it doesn't really bother me that much because he was just an irrelevant player and he went for like 500k to wherever he went, Peterborough or whatever. So yeah, but Brentford were bad, man. Brentford were bad. To be fair, the first 10 minutes they were fine and they scored, and I was like, oh, here we go, great. But then after that, after the goal was disallowed, they were absolutely dog. They were absolutely lifting today. Really, really bad. That Ethan Pinnock as well, my dad was just like singing his praises, and then he just them last 2 goals. I don't even know what was going on.
Did he not? Did he not score an own goal? He scored an own goal. At the
Yeah,
end,
he did.
didn't
Yeah.
He gave the ball and scored an own goal right after. It was like,
yeah, it was just it was
Nah.
bad all over the pitch. They weren't very good. The goalkeeper was absolutely atrocious as well. So it didn't, that helped us obviously, but at the same time we were just far too good for them after their goal was just allowed, far too good. So yeah, it's a bit mad, to be honest. Bit mad, the situation at the moment.
Brentford usually concede 5 as well, so that's a pretty impressive feat, putting 5 past them.
Yeah.
Usually they're pretty
That's,
solid.
apparently that's their biggest Premier League defeat.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really concede a lot, so yeah, it was very.
yeah,
very
but they actually gave up 3 goals. Like Rhea passed the ball in their second goal, and then literally Pinnock just passed the ball to Almiron, who scored that goal, and just scored an own goal from across. It was just
they were bad. They were really bad.
Yeah, I know that, but it was just what happened to this strong Brentford defense that doesn't concede. I just don't get it. It was
they were just under pressure a lot. Like we were relentless, and I think when you're like that, there's no way you, as a football player, you can be at 100% all the time. I've said this throughout a game for 90 minutes. You cannot be at 100%. It's impossible. If you're at full intensity, you cannot be at 100% in terms of like your awareness and stuff. And you do get complacent. And with us being so relentless today, they just couldn't handle it at all. And yeah, they ended up making some serious mistakes. But then what got me the worst was, like, I know you have to be supportive, but when Ethan Pinnock scored that own goal, everyone went over to him and like high-fived him, like, well done. I was like,
wait, what?
That was a bit weird. That was very strange. Like, all of these like players that went over and like high-fived him and like pat them on the back and that. And I was like,
I mean,
wait, your players or their players? Your players or their
tell
players?
him not to do that again. Like,
can you say that again? Whose players?
Maybe they're trying to encourage him.
Brentford's players, like his own players, went over and were like high five, like
pick him up.
They're trying to.
Like, I understand, like saying like, oh, like come on, but like you've got to say there, like you need to not do that again, because he was like poor after that the whole time.
Yeah, but you could destroy a man's confidence. You could destroy the man's not a man's, but the man's confidence after that. I think he gets dropped. But I mean,
I'll be like, what are you actually doing? Like that's
see, if that was me, and it was one of my players, trust me, the way I am in a football pitch, I'll rip into a man.
Yeah,
and the thing is, on Sunday League, I don't care if your mentality is shit on a Sunday League. I want you off the field, and I would like to say I'm one of the better defenders. I want you off. I'm not joking. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like his own goal that I think I watched the highlights about 10 minutes ago, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, nah, bro, 4-5-1 down. I wouldn't even talk to him in the changing room. That's how it is. Like we'll talk on a group chat, and then I'll ban you on a group chat. I'm fuming, but I get it. But how much for Bruno Gomes though, man? How much would you accept? Like Man United need a control.
Yeah, I got midfielders leaving next summer, man, and I need replacement.
250 million minimum. That's it.
That's worth.
That's a world record fee.
You can
hold on, but why would he leave, guys? If a project is going around him, why would he leave?
I don't think. I don't think he'll leave.
I think he'll leave in 2024.
But I just would like, sorry guys, just to say, I like to just publicly say that I like the way that Newcastle are going about their business. You know, they could have easily just gone in and bought Mbappe, Neymar, Messi. They haven't done that. They brought in Eddie Howe and they brought in Gomes, but they've been quite, I would say, relatively conservative, even with the signings that they've bought. And it's actually Eddie Howe doing his thing. So let's put some respect on his name, because it's not, because for me, I don't rate Trippier. I know he's doing a good job for you guys there at Newcastle, but I was happy to see him.
Saying that, right? I am the biggest Trippier fan. Like, anyone who knows me, for literally about 7 years, I have been the biggest Trippier fan. So literally, that is like an arrow so deep in my heart. Like, I can't even explain it. That is so hurtful. It's
but I don't mean it in. No, only because of my style of play. You know, Cass talks about his team.
What's your style of play, Deji? Just to clarify,
mate. Let me tell you how I play football. My football is Mighty Ducks. Yeah, the flying attack coming from all angles. I need flying wing backs. And
that's
Trippier for me, why I didn't rate Trippier, he's good at taking free. See, if football was like the NFL, I'd bring
Trippier's a flying wing back,
a penalty or a free kick. But when he was at Spurs, Trippier would always get the ball on the right hand side, try and do a first time cross, or play it back. And I can't tell you how much I hate players who can't beat a man. And Trippier can never beat a man. And that was my biggest problem with him. So I'm not disrespecting him. I think he's doing a good job at Newcastle, but he's not my cup of tea.
Deji, Trent cannot even dribble. And he's one of the best
Mate,
in the world.
Mate, you wait till
what
you
you're
see
saying
that.
what you're saying
Wait
is
till you
it's
see-
irrelevant for a right back, to be honest. How to
Who?
dribble
Trent
somebody.
can't dribble. Trent can't
Yeah.
dribble.
Yeah, of course. Does anybody seen Trent before beat a
I
man
think
1-1?
Trent, I think
I mean, his positional
Anybody
sense
else?
is very good, but I think he's got a very good touch, which and is in ball control. And I wouldn't say he's going to go in and out, but I think he's.
I don't
feel
think
like
it depends on who you play for, what team though. As a fullback, you are not expected to dribble.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no. It depends.
Now
It
you are.
depends.
now
It
you
depends.
are.
Now you
Yeah,
are.
it depends
Now
on who
you
you
are.
play for, but I don't
Okay,
think
Roy,
traditionally
does
a
Reece
fullback
James
should be
go
expected to
1-1 and dribble? Roy,
Yeah, he does. Reece takes on his man.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's a wing back, but that's because he's a wing back. That's more of his
Yeah.
job to kind of do something like that. But for
This is
me,
because wing backs have suddenly become a thing in the last like 5 years or so. Like you're like not a fullback, you're a wing back now. Like traditionally, you were never like wing backs weren't a massive thing. I don't think that's a very modern footballing thing. A wing back, like you know how false nines. I mean, false 10 was Steve Bruce Chris. False nines were like it suddenly
that'd
became
be
a
Bruno
thing.
Fernandes, then, isn't it?
They fell off a little bit, and now it's like because Steve Bruce called Sean Longstaff a false 10. I'll never forget it. Anyways, and like now wing backs are like a thing. Like you've got to be like an attacking wing back. Like how
you
you
think,
man? Like
do you think Trippier will start for England? Do you think Trippier will start?
No,
Um,
hell no.
Why not?
I don't know because
No,
obviously
with Southgate,
I
yeah,
don't know.
possible.
Southgate's quite a fan
I'd bring
of
him, though.
and I think
If
it's
he
because
starts-
he's quite versatile. He can play
Yeah.
on both sides, and I
Southgate
think that's
likes him.
why. I think that's
I'd
why he
bring
likes
him.
him, but I don't know if he'll
yeah.
start.
Do you know what? I'll be honest.
I'd bring him just for the
I'll
set
bring
Kyle
pieces and
Walker is
everything.
I
injured.
wouldn't
Cass.
take him.
Kyle Walker is injured, Cass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyle
but he's
Walker.
coming
If-
back. But he's back. He's
And
already had his
there's Reece
operation.
James
He'll be
only
back
there.
soon.
There's Reece
Because I
James.
respect
Kyle
Kendall,
Walker's
I'm
had a
gonna keep
horrible
this
season though.
I'm gonna keep
Exactly.
this PG. But if Trippier starts for England, we deserve what happens next. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly,
We deserve what happens
the
next.
pessimism.
Nah. He's getting slapped up
I
by
can't
Mbappe.
deal.
It's Deji's way, or just you get relegated, you flop. It's Deji's way, or like there's no football. It's
Trust
just
Deji
my
me.
wouldn't
way.
have a defense.
What
If it was up
the
to him, he
If
wouldn't have a
Trippier
defense.
starts for England, do not moan and clip this show.
Well,
Do
there was-
not moan.
like
You
to
deserve what happens next.
I would like to think it was one of the reasons we lost was because of having Trippier in the Euro finals for way too long. Way too long. After that first,
Wait,
fifth, he should have subbed him.
Did
And
he start the final? I thought
yeah,
Walker and Shaw.
he's the one. He's set up short.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I'm bugging.
I think he can utilize, but that guy should not be starting. He could be used, but don't get me wrong, but he should not be playing as a wing back. If I got burnt by Trippier today in my current form right now, by Trippier, bro, I'd be
Should
screaming. I would retire at the age of 26.
I'll be
That
vexed.
guy can't run past no one. You need to play 1-2 with that sort of player, because then you know you're gonna get something deadly.
Yeah, he's got a good whip on him.
I'll be
Yeah,
vexed. 'Cause I ain't
100%.
kicked ball in 10 years.
Carvajal never dribbled past anybody. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
but look
what
how
you guys
he's
talking
shit
about.
now.
Pava
Carvaj's no good
never
now.
dribbles.
I don't think
Right back especially.
Yeah, but
it's not
left
a
backs
massively
do.
important quality,
Yeah,
but
but
it's a very good one.
I'm
to
not
have.
being funny.
Crossing
yeah,
is way more important, guys. Crossing is way more important.
Yeah, of course.
And
yeah, but the elevation.
And
of
he's
fullbacks for me-
amazing in it. Kieran Trippier is amazing at crossing.
Yeah,
So
but
what
we're
do you
looking
think
at the
what they're
evolution again.
complaining
But we're
about?
looking at more of an evolution of fullbacks where they are dribbling and wanting. You want to win a fullback that can take on a man. Cancelo does it. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the the few
Well,
that
that's
do.
one of a kind.
We
To be
don't
honest,
play,
one
we
of a
don't
kind.
play like that though,
One of a
so we
kind.
don't need
Yeah,
don't
but
need
when you see the
our
modern-
left. We don't need our right and left backs to take on anyone because we carry
You
the
got your
ball through
wingers to do.
midfield, so we don't need that at
Yeah.
the moment.
You've got
So
wingers as
whoever
well.
When
is
you
fine.
have
a centre back playing
Zinchenko
left back,
dribbles a bit.
so it's
But what I'm trying to say is the new generation of fullbacks. Don't be surprised if it will be that they have to be able to dribble and dribble past the
yeah,
players.
yeah.
So
Jade
the
Spence.
players, so your
like Jay
wingers,
Spence.
because when you
people.
think when
like
you
Jade
think, when you
Spence people.
Come on.
when you think of wingers nowadays, there's not really a
We're
lot of
seeing the
wingers that
vision now.
are take on. There's a lack of take on wingers, 1v1 specialists these
Come
days. They're
on.
all inverted forwards, inverted wingers, and stuff like that. So you're gonna need to demand more from your fullbacks now because they are a part of the game where before they would be used. Oh, if you played in fullback, whatever, they'll be right over there. Don't worry about that. But obviously, this game's a bit different. You have to have a fullback has to have a special talent for me, whether you can whip it, pass it, dribble with it, or anything, or even be a goal scorer. Can't just be any old fullback nowadays, especially like Digne looking crap nowadays. Like, because why? Because he don't really have much ability when he was one of the most rated fullbacks a few years ago. Like,
So
there's an endless list. Carver Howe not looking any good. Okay, he's getting older, but he's looking dusty in that Real Madrid team. Do you get what I'm coming from? It's the evolution of fullbacks. It's a new thing nowadays. Go look at more and more of them, especially in the Championship. Ethan Laird, Alvaro Fernandez, just two notable ones from my own team. Obviously, they're on loan in a QPR and whatnot. Go check them out. The young ballers, they're all at fullback these days. They used to be centre mids, now at fullback.
We'll see what the last thing about Newcastle. Can we just last thing about Newcastle, because we have to talk about the champions-elect Man City. Where is Newcastle gonna finish? Again, it's the question that I keep asking every time Kendall's here with us. Where do you think you'll finish?
I had us 8th at the beginning of I had us 9th at the beginning of the season, but then a few weeks in, and I saw Leicester doing badly and I saw West Ham doing badly. I was like, okay, we can actually maybe get top 8. I think that's going to happen. I'm happy with, I must admit, I'm happy with 10th, because I think that's a big improvement from where we were. But I think it'll be about 8th.
Kendall, man, don't disrespect your team like that. Don't.
I don't disrespect us. I want to manage my expectations, because
I had Newcastle to finish above Arsenal this season, and I'm sticking with that prediction.
To be fair, Cass, when you say that, who'll finish above us? I don't know. Brighton, maybe. That's it. That's the only other team I can think of.
I see Brighton finishing maybe above New. If
no, yeah, I think it'll be Brighton like 7th and 8th. That's what I think.
Brighton aren't finishing above Newcastle.
They're not finishing above Newcastle. No way.
And then if Newcastle is serious, which I do think they are,
Newcastle are currently on the same points.
They should be locking up 7th place. 7th place should be.
I think Newcastle can get 6. I really do.
I just think the top 6 will just have that extra bit of consistency to take them into the top 6 as always. But Newcastle
they have the squad depth that we don't currently have. Like, because to be fair though, the last 2 games, our like 2 biggest results of the season, in terms of like lead and gap between the scorelines, we've actually been missing our best players, to be fair. So apart from Bruno, like, we've been missing Maxi, we missed Wilson for most of the season up until the Fulham game. Isak's now out, so we have Bruno was out for 3 or 4 games, so we've actually been missing and still been getting results. So for me, that's like a good thing. But I agree with Roya. We just at the moment don't have the squad depth to deal with like the heavy schedule that's going to come after the World Cup as well. But luckily, that also works in our favour, because all of our team isn't going to the World Cup. There's only about, I was counting today, there's about 5 players, probably 5 or 6 players who will be going to the World Cup. So I actually forgot Ryan Fraser, so that's about 7. So about 7 players. So really, we're all right, because most of the top teams, most of their squad's going to go to the World Cup. So that maybe could work in our favour. But yeah, I don't think we have the squad depth to get top 6. But I think 7th. I think we could get Conference League.
Why is Denver not going to why, guys? I'm sorry. I know that we want to talk about City, but why is Denver not in contention to go to the World Cup? In a back 3.
Did you watch him today?
I just think there's better.
In a back 3, he's better than Maguire.
In a back 3, yeah. In a back 3, but
and Southgate is going to play back 3. He said he's going to play back 3.
I just think there's better centre backs.
You might as well
I'd rather take Dunk over Burn.
I think Webster's better as well. No offense.
Yeah, he's more composed as well.
Changed the defense shape.
Yeah, he's done a very good job since he joined the Newcastle.
Like he changed the way they play.
It's because he's called Dan Burn. He's from Blythe. Everyone's like, oh, he's shite, but like he's not. He isn't shite. He's just like.
He's just tall.
Well, he's going to get shown why he's shite next week.
He's just a big man. What is he, like,
just a big lad.
No. Deji, he plays really good football on the ground. Really, really good.
No. He's a good player. I just think there's better. England's got better.
Potter liked him for a reason, but it don't matter. Next week you've got a pending anyway, so it's all right.
Champions League elect. What are we talking about? Like Man City and someone asked. I was listening to a couple of podcasts, and someone said, "How good can Arsenal? What's the highest position Arsenal can get?" And someone answered 2nd, and someone said, how high can Spurs get? And someone said 2nd. Is it turning into really, it doesn't matter how much points you get, it's gonna be City? Because today it looked like the game was over before it started, and it was all about, is Haaland gonna be on the score sheet or not? It wasn't about will City win or not. It was about will Haaland get on the...
You can't
you
copy
can't
a
honest.
robot. It's as simple as that. You
I'm not sure
can't.
if you guys
cannot.
got the same feeling like me. It was
He might
really
do
about on
the
Twitter.
Can he do the Invincibles this year?
They could.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they could.
I was gonna say.
I think they'll lose once, but I think it's possible.
I mean, I know what I'm about to say is it's not going to be popular.
Probably going to be.
Here
The
we
only
go.
one that can probably stop them is probably
You can
Spurs.
see-
If they
Spurs
play
always-
Haaland again, they deserve to flop.
Man City is ruining the game.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely correct. No.
They're ruining
It's
the game.
absolutely
Like,
correct.
you know, like when
I thought
Kaz,
you
you know
disagree
when
with what
you
you
play
did.
football and you have this one team that no one can touch, you just can't beat them. And what they've done is they're doing that in the Premier League. It's become a joke. I mean, I'm looking at the stats. Haaland scored 15 goals. Harry Kane is next highest goal scorer with 8. Man City have scored 33 goals already. The next highest goal scorers is Arsenal with 20 goals. I mean, passing, assists.
By the way, Deji, 20 is too much for 8 games. Like 20 by
I know,
itself.
that's what I'm saying.
Like
And then
20
33.
for Arsenal is too much for 8 games. It's more than 2 goals a game average.
I didn't think in my lifetime I was going to see a team who could do the Invincibles, and I think Man City, the way they're playing, they're mocking the league, and I think all the chief executives of the Premier League at the end of this season need to think about what we're going to do with City. I think either we get rid of either we get rid of Pep, we get rid of City altogether, or we get them to start again. Maybe we do them for match fixing. I don't know. I'm going to put a brown paper bag in Pep's office and they get relegated to League 2 and they got to work their way back up, because this is a joke right now. And to be honest, I would go as far as to say it's not fair. And this is the last point I wanted to make. I felt sorry for Copenhagen. Them guys, when they were on the pitch and the Champions League song came on, they were already looking at the clock, thinking, at what time will I be getting into my bed in the hotel? Because that's what it really was, and that's what it's become. You just want to get the game over and done with when you play City.
The thing is, it must be boring, because look at, like, I'm not, honestly, I don't like the fan argument, because I think, like, it's just rude. But seriously, like, there's half the stadium's there enjoying the game. Half stadium. Like, that's how boring it's got. It's got boring. They win that much. No one's even gone to see a robot play for them. It's the first robot in world football playing as a striker, and you can't even be asked to show up at your game to see a robot up front. Like, that's actually rude. Like, that's just very rude to me. I am going to see my team who still employ Paul Dummett. I'm going to see them every week, and you've got a robot at the front. You've got a cyborg as your number 9. You can't even show up to a game. No, I just think that's rude. I just don't want that. They've got their own league now. They can crack on. For me, whoever finishes second, then that's the league. That's the league. I
just want to thank.
It won't be like it forever.
TV. And listen, I'm sure that City Bias TV was waiting for us to talk about City to put in the super chat. Thank you so much
100%.
for this. It was waiting for us because everybody knew what we're gonna say. And thank you so much for the support, City Bias TV. We really appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. It's Crimea River. It is our time to ruin the game. Even Man United were not winning like this. They had something called Fergie time for a reason, because at least they were winning at the end. But the City team is winning from minute 1, which is, I don't know, like, you have to tune out the game.
I do feel bad, because there is like loyal City fans who've been watching them for years, and like I do get that. But Howie, man.
No, it won't be like this forever. What we're seeing is a City team. It's a bit like Real Madrid about 20 years ago with a super team, the Galacticos. They go out, they get the right players, but even then, the Galacticos weren't great. It's that City are actually doing things right, and there weren't really many teams competing. Barcelona, yes, here and there, they had the Ronaldinho and whatnot. I suppose Xavi and Iniesta were even.
But they didn't win the league even, Cass.
Yeah, I know. But what we're seeing is like it might be like this, but at one point, the Premier League's going to be exciting again on a general basis. What I'm going to say, Newcastle will become a superpower, regardless. They will. If Manchester United get bought, they'll become the superpower again. Chelsea, another team that looks like they're going to get things right and they're trying to do things right, will come competing again.
They don't have Pep, Cass.
The thing is,
we can't
it don't
have.
matter.
You don't have Pep. You can all have Pep. He has only one team that's gonna have Pep Guardiola. That's the
I'm not being
problem.
funny. I'm not being funny. I'm not gonna give the City jokes with the half a stadium shit anymore because I'm watching videos week in, week out. I saw a bad boy video when it on the Champions League night that was full, to be fair. The City fans are growing up now in the last 10 years. We forget about this. The youngsters are all supporting City. My nephew nearly supported City until my brother actually slapped him and said no. And then guess what? He tried to support Chelsea instead, not Man United, Chelsea.
Good choice. Good
You know
choice.
what I mean? So do you know what I mean? It's like it's the 10-year-olds nowadays are supporting City a lot more, and obviously 10 years go by and we forget, like you everyone remembers what they were doing 10 years ago. It's that clicking to me like, wow, 10 years ago we've already gone by. I finished school 10 years ago. Mad. And then City are just on top. Everyone has their era. City are doing well, to be fair. I hate to say it. They're slapping everyone. They got the model right. They're not even spending. They only got, when you deep it, how many £100 million players have City actually bought other than Grealish? Or even 80? They're all 60
their
million
business,
below.
especially like even the summer just gone, been unbelievable. They got Haaland for like 50 odd million.
60 million. So it's like they just got everything right. We can call it oil money and everything. I don't know what happened to Mo. Will be back in a sec. I don't know, like oil money and everything, but they got the difference between them. PSG have been trying to do this thing since the start. Same time as City. Yeah, they're in the same mold. They're recruiting well, but City recruit even more well. The Premier League will come very, very competitive to the point you don't even know who's going to win the league. Maybe in 5 years, but we're just going to have to suffer that. City have got to smash. They got to smash. Conte, if he gets the players he wants, because look, Conte don't play shit football. If you actually watch his football, you need a pair of better wing backs, and you definitely need a centre mid and probably a new winger. It will become like that. You won't be around forever. Don't get me wrong. You know Conte won't be around forever. But in terms of money and superpowers that can come, we could literally see a four-legged race again. But we're gonna have to hold this L for the next 3 seasons. I'd say,
will
man.
not be competitive until Pep leaves, man. Pep has this league on smash. If he wants,
greatest manager ever, bro. Like all round. I hate to say it.
Best manager ever. Like,
ever.
How can you come to this league one off season where you don't have your players? You get 100 points, win the league, 98. Have a lot of injuries, and then go back to back again, and he's probably going to get a 3-peat this year. Like, he's an unbelievable man. No one is on his level, and as long as he's here, City will win the league every season, unless they have an injury crisis like they did when Liverpool won it.
You know what else as well, guys? There's over 110 people in here now. Yeah, please smash the like button for this great panel, giving up their Saturday nights, by the way, to come talk to you guys and give you free content. So if you don't mind, smash the likes. Helps us as a channel. We're on the road to 5K. So if you're not subscribed, I think we're like 50 off or something like that, 60 off. So if you haven't subscribed, it'll be a brilliant thing to see if you add more subscribers, and hit the notification bell as well. And obviously check out these guys' socials as well. On top of that, Roy, Chelsea, obviously you've done your bits. Newcastle, what City? I don't want to give them too much compliments. What other games went on today, by the way? Oh my word! I think there's a big elephant in the room that I haven't heard, because I've been watching the stream even on my phone before I came on. When does Brendan Rodgers actually get sacked?
I think what I've heard is that, as in, like I said, this isn't me like speaking facts or anything like that, but I've heard that Leicester don't want to pay. He's got a pretty big compensation clause in his contract, and I don't think Leicester want to pay it. So
I just want to get this game out. I just want to get this game out.
They had a lot of sponsors lined up that didn't come off.
For real?
Which they were expecting like some income from that, which they haven't got now. Obviously, they didn't sign anyone in the summer, did they? Did they sign anyone?
They signed that. What's that centre back's name? The Belgian one that's playing Face, or I don't know what his name is, but they signed him in the summer. Other than that, I don't know who they signed.
Other than that, like they even knew they lost Kasper Schmeichel, they lost Fofana, so it's like what? To be fair, I think they're probably thinking like, what are we expecting here? Like, what would they expecting Brendan Rodgers to do?
They're fighting relegation at the moment. Like,
oh yeah.
Listen, I would never.
Rodgers has to go.
I will never rate him. I will never rate Brendan Rodgers as a manager. You know, today, we didn't talk on it yet, but City actually played 3 at the back. So we're talking about wing backs again. They had, I think, Riyad Mahrez was playing one of the wing back roles, and then Cancelo doing the other one. You got Brendan Rodgers trying to do 4-2-3-1s. I think he tried a 4-4-2. He's tried a 3-5-2, and I think he's actually done a 3-4-3. And he still lost to Bournemouth, by the way. Where are Bournemouth in the table?
They're actually about 8th.
Nah,
are you for real? Are you for real?
They've been on a charge, innit?
They're above Liverpool.
Premier League table. I'm gonna check it right now for you guys. And oh my god, they're actually 8th on 12 points. They got the same They played Liverpool. They played Arsenal. They played City. I think. Did they play City?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think they played
No,
City.
no,
Did they
they
play
haven't.
City?
They haven't. They haven't.
City fans. They haven't played City yet. So
No, they haven't.
I'm gonna go through their fixtures. By the way, Bournemouth. I think maybe we've been disrespecting Bournemouth a little bit too much. First game of the not first game. A few weeks ago, I think just before the break, they drew 1-1 against Newcastle. Right? They drew 0-0 against Wolves. They obviously got slapped by Liverpool. Lost to Arsenal. No, they did play Man City at the start of the season.
Yeah, they
Man
lost
City beat a
4-0.
4-0. So they played pretty much all the big teams already. Do you get what I'm saying? So and they're eighth. They are eighth. Let's deep it. They're eighth. They're actually
I had them like
they're
dead
above
set to go
Liverpool.
down as well.
They're above Liverpool.
Yeah, I had Bournemouth 20th place.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Same. So are we giving maybe Bournemouth a little bit too much discredit? And again, Leicester, that's unforgivable.
The thing is,
man.
as well,
That's,
you're right. Leicester the team's not elite, but it's better than that. It's better than
relegation. 100%.
It's better than relegation. Like it's way better than relegation. So yeah, you shouldn't be there.
Yeah. City Bias TV, big up for another super chat. Ain't boring when you're winning trophy.
That's probably true. I don't know what that's like. I'm so sorry. I don't know what winning trophies is like apart from championship.
Hey, Deji, do you know what that's like?
I will do. Hopefully by the end of the season.
Okay. I was waiting for you, Mo, because I wanted to get back onto the City game more in depth. Obviously, did you see the system that they were playing today? Pep Guardiola, another one out of the books. Another one.
Akanji at right back. It looks like
no.
It was back three, but Akanji used to right.
Okay.
It was Akanji, and then he was on the right, and then we saw Akanji going up, and it was kind of strange to me that he cannot put a foot wrong. It doesn't matter who he plays, and that's what we say always about Man City and Pep Guardiola. The personnel don't matter. It doesn't matter. No matter how he plays, he's gonna play the same exact system. It didn't matter if it's Grealish, it didn't matter if it's Foden, it didn't matter when Gomez came in. It's the same exact system, same exact plays, far post crossing, and movement off the ball. And it was to be honest with you, it is so amazing to watch. But again, it's boring in terms of expecting what's the output of the game. That's my problem. It's amazing to get highlights. It's amazing to analyze the game from a tactical point of view. It's a master class. The guy's a genius and everything. But if you're a neutral and you're watching the game, you know what's going to happen. You would rather put another game that you don't know. Like you would rather watch Leicester play Bournemouth because the quality is not even remotely close, but you don't know the output of the game. But you knew from the first minute what is going to happen in this game. And that's the problem with Man City. But it's not boring. People do get the idea of boring wrong. It's just, it is expected, to be honest.
Predictable. It's predictable.
Predictable. Yes.
It's because City are barely ever in jeopardy. That's why people find them boring. Because they go 1-0 up after 10 minutes and the game's pretty much done. They're never in jeopardy. The only time where they've been in trouble was against Newcastle when they went 3-1 down, and Palace where they went 2-0 down. Obviously, they won against Palace. They couldn't get it done against Newcastle. But other than that, City are rarely ever in jeopardy. And that's why people swing boring allegations. The football they play is not boring. Like Pep does not play boring.
No.
It's amazing. It's brilliant. It's the best in the world.
It's fantastic football. It's just they're never in trouble. So people just find it boring.
Even like players like Ake now, who was probably were resigned to when Diaz was doing really well and Cancelo was doing really well. And everyone's forgot about Nathan Ake. But now he's suddenly formed this partnership and he's unbelievable again. It's no matter, you're so right, no matter what Pep does, he can't put a foot wrong. Everything he does is right. Everything he touches is just unbelievable. It just looks so good. Everything they do as a club. I know everyone always says oil money, whatever, but their transfer business has not been out of this world. They haven't spent £300 billion or whatever that they probably could. Their outgoings equaled their incomings almost in the summer. The way that they play football is really good. I just think they're such a good club. But yeah, it's just predictable at this point.
Yeah, it reminds me of Spain. It reminds me of the Spanish team back in 2008 to 2000. Untouchable. They didn't even have to play with a striker.
Let me tell you the difference in tactic between anybody and them, because people in the chat are saying, yeah, but it was not boring against Newcastle. It was not boring against West Ham. The problem is City's system will work against most of the teams in the world until you have the quality to get out of the press and to be able to string a couple of passes together. And not everybody has that. not even like Man United don't have that. Even Van Dijk and Matip at this point now this year, they don't have that. We'll see when City play Liverpool. But in my opinion, the problem with it works against most teams. Most teams it works, and it's a fluke when it doesn't work. It's a fluke. Like you would be sitting down and like, why they haven't scored against West Ham yet? Why they are not winning against Newcastle? That tells you that every time you're sitting there, their system will work. Most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, their system will work against every team in the world. And that's, to be honest, that's credit to Pep. It's not that the other teams are weak, by the way. It's just he has a system that works against most teams in the world. And it's astonishing. It's just blown my mind away every time I'm watching them, how easy football is when you play for Pep Guardiola. But take the same players and put them under another coach. I promise you it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. I was just thinking the same thing. Put me in that City team. and I turn into KDB overnight. And then
I thought you were going to say I turn into Jez
No, in fact, I will. Actually, Jez Spence flying down that right-hand side. No, look, big up Pep. Because I when I saw him, when he was in the Barcelona team and he had Xavi and Iniesta, you thought to yourself, could this ever be recreated ever again? And he's done it. Because I'm looking at Gundogan, I'm looking at KDB, and the way that they're just free flowing. It must be a pleasure to be a City fan right now. It must be a pleasure to be a City player right now. And for the rest of the league, we just have to just sit here watching awe and pray that our team doesn't get the kind of spanking that Ajax United got last weekend. I mean, Conte came out with it.
Hey, brother, when I tell you this now, yeah, Deji, when you come to Old Trafford, I'm going to be there midweek. And when, like Newcastle will come to Old Trafford, we're going to beat them. And Newcastle will be a harder game than Tottenham, bro. I guarantee
I'm not going to lie. I don't mind
big up City bias, by the way. Big up City bias for the super.
I don't mind you picking me up from Piccadilly Station, bro. If you pick me up from Piccadilly Station, you're going to get slapped up by Tottenham. I told you that your team was out of garbage. And that performance that you guys put on last week was a disgrace. And I was laughing as they were just pumping the ball in the back of your net. And let's just deep this, because I saw Cass came on and was waxed lyrical about Martial. And then I just had to laugh to say that's how
and then he scored more than Son this season.
When you can say that Martial kind of brought some goals back. These guys had chilled out. They had already switched off when you guys got your goals. If they wanted to, they could have pumped double figures past you lot. So, bro, I'm just saying, man, it was a nightmare. And I can't wait to play you guys at Old Trafford. I can't lie. I can't wait, because that is, as my bedroom expression will say, it was fossil football coming from you guys. And Sir Alex Ferguson, poor him to see where his club has become.
Bro, all I'm going to say, yeah, there's so many gaps in your defense, bro. All you're going to be in is in Piccadilly. It's just going to keep reminding you when we beat you. Like in Piccadilly, yeah, there's going to be so many gaps. Just like Brighton picked a lot of gaps, but just couldn't finish today. When we beat you, bro, all you're going to be thinking about when you get that train station is when they say, mind the gap. Because all the time you're going to be saying, mind the gap. Every single time there's a slot between Romero, your Rolls Royce, and Dyer, and whoever else. There's gaps in your defense. You think you're this super solid team, but you're actually not.
I don't want to drop.
You're actually not. How can you play a back eight and still not be solid? How can you play a back eight and still not be solid?
I'll be real with you. Rashford, Sancho, Martial, they're not the one. But I heard something from a Man U fan today that I thought was very interesting. So I'm hearing that this week, this brother is back in the team, or he's back in the squad, and he was training.
Who is?
Mason Greenwood. I heard that he's back training.
I don't know about that's old news, bro. He's playing with the under 23s at the moment, or under 21s, or some shit like that. I don't know. I can't tell you anything on Greenwood or anything, because it's not my place to say in it. I don't know the ins and outs, who's guilty, what's not guilty, etc., etc.
I'm just saying he's a baller.
I leave the politics. I leave the politics out until I see a verdict of guilty or not guilty. That's what I'm gonna ride upon. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that they haven't brought him back into the Man United squad yet currently tells me everything I need to know at the moment of time. That's all I can really say on that.
Prince
big up
Fuad
Fuad.
TV, thank you so much for the super chat. He's love my brother Qasim. Deji is gassed tonight. He's coming with a lot of chest because they won. Deji, to be honest.
Just about.
We'll see how it is. You know what? Imagine if they don't beat Eintracht in midweek, and then now Conte again with Champions League, and we'll talk about it when time is here. But you know what Callum Wilson said to Michael Antonio? They said they really need to have a silver boot trophy on the podcast. Did you guys see that video?
He did say it like as a joke. I think like that the whole quote is totally taken out of context. I was like, oh, look at this fucking bum. Like he wants a silver boot because he can't compete for the gold boot. And he did say it as a joke, but yeah, at this point,
but it's true, isn't it?
To be fair, Callum Wilson actually needs a wooden boot because literally he's like a croc at the moment. But I do hope that he stays fit. But yeah, Haaland's got the golden boot, man. There's no way anyone gets that golden boot over Haaland this season. I'm sorry, unless he gets like a season-ending injury and he doesn't play, there's just no way. If he stays fit, there's no way. What's the point?
If he stays fit, he breaks Salah's record of 32 goals for sure.
100% all day long.
Like there's no question. And then
who's this?
Salah.
Who's this?
Salah.
Haaland's already broke it, bro. He's gonna probably break it before the World Cup's even started.
He's gonna have.
He's at 32 goals. How many is he on? 20 goals at the moment.
No, he's on 15 in the league.
Oh, Premier League. In the league, 15, bro.
Because Salah broke the record with 32, and now it's.
Let me tell you.
I think Haaland got 36.
I think Haaland
we played 8 or 9 games.
He played 9 games, bro. He has 15 goals.
I just think his scoring rate has to die down eventually.
Can I give you some of the fixtures list, by the way, you guys? Yeah. So, by the way, next week is Man City v Liverpool, which is at Liverpool. He might not score there. You don't know. Then they got Man City at home.
Etihad or Anfield? I'm sorry.
Anfield. It's at Anfield.
So only a brace. Man
City's then got Brighton. Then they got Brighton at their own ground at the Etihad. Then they got Leicester City. Then they got Fulham. Then they got Brentford. Then they got Leeds, Everton.
Brace.
No. Sorry. No. Leeds is in December. They got Brentford the last game. Fulham, Brentford, and also Leicester. He can slap in a serious amount of goals and already do the golden
before
boot
the World Cup.
The World Cup
25,
is even started.
25 before the World Cup.
Easy, and about at least minimum 5 goals, anyways. 6 goals out of them fixtures.
But hold on, if he gets more than 50 goals this year, is he in contention for Golden Ball, like Ballon d'Or?
Of course.
Yes.
100%.
If he gets 40 goals, he's going to be Ballon d'Or. Come on. The guy's a monster.
Yeah, what would that bring his tally up to this year alone? What did he score last season in terms of this year alone?
I don't know. He was injured. He was injured half the time, but
yeah, he had a few injuries last season.
Oh, but the Ballon d'Or is only about the season now. It is not about the calendar year anymore. He said it's only about the season. So the season ended last year. That's Ballon d'Or this year. The problem is going to be the World Cup. If Brazil win the World Cup, of course, it's going to be Neymar. If Argentina win it, it's going to be Messi. If England win it, it's going to be Southgate or Deji. Imagine Deji, England win the World Cup.
Mate, if England win the World Cup, that means that Chelsea lost their manager between now and then. And and Jed Spence was and we did something about our centre backs. But Graham Potter has to be in charge in order for us to win the World Cup, and I think it will be good for the country. And for me, on a serious note, we got to be putting country before clubs. So therefore, I think we need Potter. Potter needs to be dragged out of where he is, somewhere in London at the moment, and he needs to be taken to St. George's, and he needs to get working and preparing that England squad.
No, Jarvis, I am convinced that Donny van de Beek is done. He's not.
Donny van de Beek is just an idea. I feel like he just doesn't exist.
I like this. Yeah, he's not a real person.
I don't even remember seeing him play this season.
Van de Beek is a baller, though. I don't know what happened.
Not everybody that played for the Ajax team is it's Ajax or Divizia. It's a different way of playing football than coming to the Premier League or going to.
To be fair, we don't know if he's in plans of Eric Ten Hag. Only reason being, he has been injured for the last few weeks, by the way. So I'm interested to maybe see. I just don't think he wants to put him into a team until he feels comfortable enough. Like, I'll be real in terms of building it up. Like, cool, now we got the way we know how to play a little bit. Then maybe put him in. But I wouldn't be opposed to selling him in January now. If he's not going to get time, cut your losses. Don't do what we usually do. Run out their contract. Sell him on for like 10 million or some shit like that. Go get somebody else. But that means if he leaves, that means we get somebody else. And I'll be interested to see who Man United would have lined up. Because us lining up another centre mid in January, nah.
Did you guys talk already about Leicester? And is he sacked yet?
Nah, not yet.
Brendan Rodgers?
No, I don't think
he's not sacked yet.
I don't think I honestly don't think he will at the moment.
I don't think they will, man. Not yet. They didn't buy any players. They lost Kasper Schmeichel in the summer. I mean, you know, he has been he's been dealt some difficult cards. And
Did
it's
you see
not
that
his
report?
fault.
There was a report about Schmeichel today. I think I saw it on that like Get France Football or whatever, where like they're on about. Did he go to Nice? They're on about
Nice.
they're on about selling him now.
Yeah, because of his attitude.
His attitude's really bad or something.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
Kasper Schmeichel.
Kasper Schmeichel, his attitude's bad. A man like it, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't really expect that from him. So it might be fake news, I don't know, but
That transfer was weird, I thought.
yeah, it just happened out of nowhere. Club
bizarre.
captain, club legend, you just shipping him to Nice. Like, it doesn't really make a lot
it was
of sense
weird.
to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit like, you know what, more fake news is, as well. Who else is there? Our recent Duncan Castles. What a top tier wanker, bro. Like, honestly, he's trying to spread more news and hate between Ronaldo and Eric Ten Hag. Guaranteed, right?
But I mean, I want an 11-inch penis. It's not going to happen.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not happening, bro. Like, it's just, he's talking shit out of his ass all the flipping time. He's a tier 4 journalist. Didn't get anything right last summer, pretty much. Again. Like, he just waffles, and he's just, again, he's trying to just find this thing where if you want a little bit of, I don't know, a reaction or something to clickbait, you're going to talk on Manchester United, and the next person you're going to talk to who's not really getting game time, it's easy. Ronaldo, it's all clickbait. He pisses me off, honestly. He's a top tier prick. Can't stand him. And it's the fact is that Man United fans will fall for this shit. A lot of them.
I learned when we got took over just to ignore them. I just ignore the journalists who were literally desperate for attention, and you can tell straight away. And like, people bite, and they know that they're going to, and they just get traction, and that's what they're there for.
Yeah. It's just, it is what it is, man. But it's just like, especially coming off a loss as well. Like, coming off of a loss and probably not a convincing win against someone that rounds with pneumonia and all that kind of crap. But do you get what I'm saying? It's not needed. But he's meant to be. I swear he's meant to be a Man United fan himself, apparently. But it's just, proper prick.
Anyway, okay. So a little bit of a prediction for the game tomorrow for Arsenal Liverpool. Just before we finish, guys.
Shit.
What do we say? And also Man United, Everton. Do you reckon Cassio get the win tomorrow?
Yeah.
At Goodison?
No. I don't. I've said this all week. Like, even though we got slapped by City, I'm not disheartened by anything. Like, City slapped us. They're slapping everyone, rightfully so. I'm pretty sure we needed a bit of a humbling as well. Obviously, Gas fans, including myself. I didn't say we was going to win, but including myself, bit of a humbling. Team needed it. You know, Varane as well got injured, but he's not actually injured. He's actually back for the game. Like, we can just go on and do what we do best. Like, Everton don't score, so we don't have to really worry about them scoring too much. If anything, Man United are actually scoring. So for me, it's I think we'll win 2-0. Everton, credit for Lampard.
Please beat Everton, man. I just hate them so bad.
credit to them, though.
Why do you
I
hate
hate the
Everton,
Scouse
Kendall?
Mackhams, man. Yeah, I can't deal for me. I hate them, so you can't.
They got nothing going forward for them, innit? That's why I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of a Wobie and a Mope and who's the other, that kid Gordon. Nah, man. The only Gordon I'll be fearful from is the one from Gotham City, bro. So
Well, I can't believe I'm doing this.
2-0 to us, man. 7 goals conceded, 7 goals scored. It'll be a tough one. I'm pretty sure they'll sit a deep line because that's all Frank Lampard knows.
I think, for me, I think Everton beat United 2-1. I just think Alex Iwobi's going to run things in that midfield and you guys are going to get spanked. But I can't believe I'm saying this. On my Soccer 6 for Sky Sports, I've actually put Arsenal to beat Liverpool 3-1. I can't believe it. But I can see Arsenal spanking Liverpool right now. Yeah.
Roy.
To be honest with you, I think the way the season's gone with Spurs so far, mate, I've just demoralised. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing all sorts of mad things. I'm here touting for the England job, trying to take Chelsea's manager away from them, and I'm also declaring live on stream that Arsenal are going to get 3 points. So, look, the world could end tomorrow because we could get hit by a meteor. Do you know what I mean? But no, just kidding aside. I think Arsenal win 3-1, and I see Everton winning 2-1.
I'm gonna go. I'm going 2-2. That's me ended now. Don't need to talk no more. 2-2. I think that's what I want. That's what I think. That's what I'm hoping for. But if I had one choice, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't mind Liverpool smacking Arsenal a good 3-1 or something.
I would love that.
Opposite.
I wouldn't mind it.
Why? It's more fun. It's more fun if Arsenal win, to be honest. It's more fun for the league.
Arsenal to win. I want Arsenal to win because, again, another fan base don't like Liverpool. Do I have an issue with Scouse at this point? I don't actually, but it seems like I do because I don't like Evan. I don't like Liverpool, but I like the club. I just don't like the fans. But yeah, I would like Arsenal to win tomorrow. It is at the Emirates as well, isn't it? So yeah.
Roy, for you, it's better to Arsenal win for you.
As in, I do think Arsenal will win the game.
Chelsea.
I think they'll win it. I think they'll win it 2-1. But in terms of who, as a Chelsea fan, who is better for, well, either we get to extend the gap to Liverpool, which is obviously great, or we can close the gap on Arsenal. But no matter what happens tomorrow, I can't have a draw. Someone needs to get cooked. Someone needs to lose and get cooked. So as long as it's not a draw tomorrow, I'm not really complaining too much. Just give me an entertaining game. But as in, with my analytical hat on, I do think Arsenal are going to edge it 2-1. I just don't think Liverpool are properly at the races at the moment. And Arsenal, they've got a system. Everyone knows their job. They're playing well. They're at home. And I just think that's going to give them the edge, even though it pains me to say it.
Yeah. So, Cass, anything else? Anybody want to add anything? You want to plug something?
Yeah, so tomorrow, obviously, anyone that is here, before you do that, do hit the like button on the way out. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock, bringing rivals, not rivals, obviously, second episode of that. So we have Arsenal fan unknown yet. We don't know. More than likely going to be Guna Lee, potentially. We don't know yet, if not Premsy. But other than that, we've got Carefree Lewis, myself, Daps, Monts from Big Six Bands, and also Sean, the Spurs fan. If people know Sean by now, I'm pretty sure they know him. Yeah, man. 12 o'clock. No, 11:45 in the morning. So just before any Super Sunday game.
Yeah.
Can I just answer D. Millie's question?
Go on.
D. Millie, he's asked me where Spurs going to finish. And I think he might have been in other shows where people have drawn me out. Look, I've been humbled over the past few weeks. Anyone who knows me knows I had Spurs either winning the Champions League or the Premier League. So I'm going to be honest and say that I've dropped my prediction down a peg, and I can see Spurs definitely finishing second.
How far are you going in the Champions League, Deji?
How far?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to qualify. I can see Spurs getting at least semis.
Oh my goodness! Lock off the stream.
You know what? You see that comment there? When Spurs get to the semi, we're going to play that back. And then you're going to explain yourself.
Deji, I can categorically guarantee you are not making the Champions League.
We're going to go further than Chelsea.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
You will.
No, you won't.
You will.
You're fucking dog shit in Europe. Your manager's shit in Europe.
We'll see. We'll see. You're getting gas.
You don't have the cojones.
You're getting gas because you've had a.
You don't have the cojones to make it to.
You wait until Graham Potter takes.
You don't have the cojones, bro.
Makeup, and then we'll really.
You don't have the cojones. You don't have the cojones to make it to the semi.
We'll see, won't we, Chelsea? We got a point at your ground. We'll see, won't we?
Cojones. You know, in Spanish you don't pronounce the S.
Cojones. I don't know how to say it, but
you
don't. However you say it, you ain't got it. You ain't got that dog in him.
We'll see, mate. Conte, man, is a different beast. But we'll see.
In the Champions League, is fucking horrible. He's
the only one that's got a semi. The only one that's got a semi is you, Deji, right now, bro, on Tottenham. But that's...
Bro, I mean,
on Jet Spence, don't even say Tottenham.
Let me tell you, I had at the beginning of the season, I said Spurs could win the league or Champions League. People laughed at me. And dare I say, even though I'm not happy with my team's performance, 6 wins, 2 draw, and 1 defeat is arguably championship form. I want to let those apples sink in. But actually, that's championship form.
Okay, people, from all of us, make sure to like the video if you're watching this on playback. If you're just still here, we need to get to 100 likes. We're on 80 something now, I guess. So please make sure to hit that thumbs up. It's underneath the live chat. Please do. And from all of us here at Never a Foul, thank you so much for watching. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at 12, as Cass mentioned. Thanks for everybody that is here. Thanks, Deji, Kendall, Roy. Thanks, Cass, for jumping on. We really appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.